Close your eyes for a second. I want you to imagine you're back in a room that your conscious mind can't quite name. Maybe there's the faint scent of lavender oil. Maybe the air feels just a little bit heavier, like it's been warmed by the hum of a gentle memory. You hear the soft clack of a clipboard, the hush of shoes on linoleum, and you start to realize you're not just imagining this. Your nervous system remembers. That's the secret comfort code of ASMR, especially when it slips into that vintage roleplay, the 1950s nurse, the stoic librarian. You know the ones: pressed uniforms, calm voices, a ritual of order in a world that so often feels like chaos. These aren't just characters for entertainment, they're archetypes, deep mythic images wired into us promising safety and care. Let's get real for a sec. After the chaos of the 20th century, wars, depression, the threat of atomic everything, America needed order, needed comfort. So society created these symbols: the nurse who whispered, never yelled, the librarian who kept everything in its place. They became rituals, ways to soothe not just individuals but entire generations. Carl Jung would call them shadow mothers, pieces of the collective unconscious that show up when life gets overwhelming. Today, I just call it ASMR roleplay. And let's be honest, it works. Why? Because ASMR isn't just a buzzword. When you hear those soft voices, delicate movements, or the methodical folding of towels, your brain releases oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, the love chemicals. You get that tingle, that wave, and suddenly you feel held. Studies show it can lower your heart rate, boost your mood, and genuinely help if you're neurodivergent or carrying old attachment wounds. So when that vintage nurse whispers affirmations, she's not just playing pretend, she's helping your nervous system do the healing it never got. Now let's talk about librarians. The 1950s library, it was like a temple. Silence was sacred, time slowed down, and the librarian, always composed, became the gatekeeper of calm. In ASMR, the librarian's steady voice and controlled movements aren't just nostalgic, they're ritual. Each stamp, each careful word tells your brain, you are safe, you are being looked after. This is neurological time travel. Every towel fold, every clipboard scratch, every whisper. It's not just a retro vibe, it's your nervous system rewinding, recalibrating, finding safety in a simulation of care. Why does this matter now in 2025? Because in a world of endless noise and digital chaos, the algorithm has learned how to give us what our ancestors forgot: real comfort, wrapped in vintage aesthetics. Maybe what some call a fetish is really medicine. Maybe it's a code, a spell, hidden in plain sight. So don't let anyone shame you for needing this. Your nervous system doesn't care about irony. It cares about safety, about coherence. The nurse might not be real, but the comfort absolutely is. In a world that tells us to toughen up, those whispered words, they're a quiet revolution. You just decoded the comfort code with me. And if your nervous system feels a little softer, well, that's the point. And that's the way it was. And maybe still is, in the quiet corners of your mind.